What's up, Builders Club TV Nation? You got Dewan Jones here, your professional stay-at-home dad. And man, am I excited about the guest that we have here for you tonight. To have him on the show. We get the opportunity to talk to him and pick his brain. You know how we do it, family. We got Aaron Byerlee on the show. He's an entrepreneur, online business mentor, speaker, and trainer. Let me get myself on camera, family, so I can speak with you. And always tell you thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Make sure you smash the like button on your way in. That helps with the visibility of the show. That way we can help spread the message because we do understand that the secrets to success are hidden in the stories of successful people. There you go, man. How's it going, Aaron?
They're going well. Excited to be here.
How's it going, man? Hey, we're glad to have you. Finally got you tied down. You're a busy man out there doing major things, as I just expressed to the family. So again, formally want to tell you thank you for coming on to the Builders Club TV show.
It's a privilege to be here and really excited to have a chat to you and everyone listening.
Awesome. So if you've seen the show a little bit, Aaron, what we like to do, we like to throw our guests in the Builders Club TV Time Machine. We like to go back into the story in the past and your path to success. We like to dig in that a little bit and kind of reveal some of those hidden jewels, man, and what you and learn from what you've been through along your journey, man. So if we can we talk to you about your path to success?
Yeah, I mean, I love stories too, mate. One of my favourite things is learning about where people came from and what they had to do to where they got to and what business vehicle did they use. But look, mate, I've been full-time for the last decade, but I got started off as a personal trainer. So my first business was a gym when I was around about 21 years of age. And the only reason I did that was because someone gave me the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad to read when I was about 20, and that just opened up my whole world onto the entrepreneurial world. I knew what I wanted to do. I was the guy at school that just got by, more interested in playing football, and I wasn't really planning on reading too many books after school, but that book, I didn't understand there are actually books like that out there, right? Mm-hmm. But that's who I was, that's who I wanted to be. Then I devoured every other book, Think and Grow Rich, and everything you can think of, and just became a student of business, personal development, and we went on from there.
Wow. We see you got some books behind you. You must read a lot. Is there anything that you're currently reading, man, or anything that I know a lot of people recommend a lot of books, but is there anything you'll recommend for an upcoming entrepreneur on the rise to the top?
I'm just actually reading, let me grab it for you real quick.
Yeah.
So I've just grabbed Russell Brunson, who's a great online marketer, and you see his stuff all the time. And one of the ways that I've built network marketing over in recent years is been online. I mean, I don't think you'll ever beat the face-to-face, the relationship, the shaking hands, looking someone in the eye. So I love to do a lot of belly-to-belly, but if you can create some funnels and some traffic and some social media and some credibility, then you got the best of both worlds. So Russell Brunson's Network Marketing Secrets, currently just going through that, and checking out the 30-day funnel challenge. So that's a pretty thick book there. So I think over the years, books like How to Win Friends and Influence People, and your Think and Grow Rich, your Robert Kiyosaki books, The Tipping Point, and then more specifically, once I got into network marketing, I love books like from Matt Morris, Eric Worre. So I started to get more specific on network marketing and become a real student of that. And then in more recent times, it's more about, people. So it's a psychology of people, public speaking, and then on ranges all the time. So, I think becoming a student online in the home-based business industry, if you can master that, you really will stand out above 99% of the people. So you learn from the best and you keep devouring, always become a student and then pass that on in your teaching. So that's kind of where I'm heading now. I think once you got your mindset right, I mean, you can never stop learning, you can never stop developing that, but there comes a tipping point where you got to stop going to Tony Robbins seminars and put it into action, So you always want to be advancing. You never want to be the smartest person in the room, always learning, but take what you've learned and apply it and start building your business as well. I see a lot of people, they put up on Facebook, I'm going to another Tony Robbins seminar, I'm going to another Tony Robbins seminar, and that's great, but they spend 5 years going to Tony Robbins seminars feeling like they're doing something, but they don't actually apply it into a business or into their life, or they do it for the 4 weeks after the seminar because they're so pumped, and then they go back into their normal life. So you've got to apply this stuff as well, which is really important.
Well, let me talk to you about online a little deeper, because when you look at your online presence, the average person would probably be like, man, this guy here has his stuff together. Oh my God. But when we look at today, home business versus online, creating an online presence, really creating an online footprint, you still have a lot of people who are still unsure, not really understanding whether or not they should actually move in that direction. Should I be building my online presence? How important is social media for my business? Do I need it? Can I do without it? Is it necessary? And how necessary is it for a home business entrepreneur to start building their quote unquote online footprint?
Yeah, look, I think it's essential, and every day and every month and every year that goes by, I think it becomes even more essential. So it's like the old question in network marketing in particular, shall I build old school or shall I build new age? And my answer to that is always do both. So if you can generate leads online, let's say you're running a Facebook ad to an ebook that you wrote, which then turns into one of your presentation, which then turns into your specific network marketing company, and you're generating leads that way, and they're great leads, they're qualified. So that's very new age. If you can make that happen, I mean, every network marketer or every home-based business person's dream is to wake up in the morning, you got 50 qualified leads in your inbox, and they're buying your product. The reality is, if you don't then take that new age strategy and take it to the old school strategy and pick up the telephone, and this is what I say to people, if you're not prepared to pick up the telephone, you're only going to get so far. You might make a few affiliate sales, well done. You're never going to build anything long term. You're not going to build anything that's got a substantial residual income in it. You need to pick up that telephone, you need to build a relationship with them, and if you can, go and meet them for a coffee at your local cafe, or next time you're in that city, go and meet with them, shake hands, build a proper belly-to-belly relationship. That's how they built businesses back in the 80s and the 90s without any online presence. So I think if you take both aspects of that, that's how you can really become the one percenter. But the online presence these days, and look, I've got an online presence, but it's nowhere near where it could be, where it should be. I look at plenty of other people that do it a lot better. The real key is a lot of consistency. So what's working today is just being real. I think, and I still see a lot of people doing it because they haven't caught up, but gone are the days where you find a Ferrari sitting in the car park, so you go and take a photo standing next to it and say, hey, check out my car. It's just too fake. No one believes it, right? I hate that stuff. People on their websites or even on social media, they're getting professional photos done of home-based business, and they're sitting there with their laptop, they're at the kitchen table, their kids are sitting next to them, they're smiling, they're looking at the camera. That's BS. No one works from home with the kids at the kitchen table, because the reality is the kids are screaming, they're fighting, no one's getting any work done in that environment.
Man, you know what? That is very real, what you're talking about in terms of the reality of building a home business. It is not always Lamborghinis and expensive trips. It's, sick kids and house chores and cats and dogs running around, and you're trying to, do an interview, right? So, why do you think
as we speak right now,
yeah,
I've got my door locked in my office, and I've got the outside light on. So my kids now know, they're 5 and 4. If the outside light on, you don't go anywhere near Dad's office. So we've come up with codes and rules, and you make it work, right?
Yeah. And why do you think so many people shy away from that?
People are scared to show their reality. But that doesn't matter. I think the main reason is people are scared to back themselves in. So if you're living in a caravan, you're living on the street, if things, you're living in a modest house, you've got a modest car, who cares? it's all about where you're going. And I've done a lot of personal development. I've been in business for a long time. I've done really well in business. Unfortunately, the economy's go in cycles. Your life goes in cycles. I had a lot of overheads. The global financial crisis hit, property went down, and you take a bit of a hit. But it wasn't about where I was at that point in time. I said to people, hey, look, this is what I want to do. I guarantee you this is where I'll be in 3 years from now. Love for you to jump on board. If you're not, that's okay as well. And so I think people have got to back themselves in. Don't want the mistakes you made yesterday or last year or over the last decade, or who the person you think you are, or that. And this is a subconscious thing a lot of the time, is people don't give themselves permission at a subconscious level to be successful. And they think that all the failures, all the mistakes they've made in the past is going to. So, one of the ideas that I think is great for a person that backs themselves is say, okay, I'm going to do a video blog, or I'm going to do a Facebook Live every day. I'm going to show you exactly my reality, and this is who I am. And I want you to follow my journey to success. And that'd be a great thing for someone to follow. But you got to back yourself in, and you got to be real.
Good stuff. Is there anything, Aaron, that in terms of advice that you would give to someone, they're building the dream, they're grinding it out, they're building their business, and we're talking about online. Are there any go-tos for you in terms of social media, in terms of internet marketing tools, email marketing? There's so much out there, and I can understand why the average person would feel intimidated. But is there anything that, as far as advice, you can give to someone to help them understand where they should land their focus, like learning the process of being online or having an online presence, or even building an online presence? Where do people start? There's an ocean of information out there.
Oh, exactly. And I think it's a great question, and it can be very overwhelming, especially if you try and take it all in all at once. It's like, where do I start? I remember going to seminars many years ago and learning about online marketing, and I'd take all these notes and I'd record everything. I'd get home and I'd just look at all my notes, and I would just procrastinate, and I would do absolutely nothing. Where the hell do I start? Because I'm not a technical person. I'm not the sort of guy that would ever build a website or get technical. So I think some advice there is, you got to meet people where they're at. So one step at a time. So find one thing that you want to achieve, and just focus on that. So that might be one traffic strategy. It might be one social media, because if you try and get on every single social media platform all at once, it's just overwhelming. Facebook might be your thing. For me, I don't have a huge presence on Instagram. I might have just kind of missed that boat by a couple of years. But Instagram's powerful, and I see a lot of people getting huge traction on Instagram. It's not an area that I've focused on, and so it's not an area that works for me. Facebook, I'm very consistent, and I have a good point, and it works for me. So I think you also have to find out where your audience is, and what works for you. But I'm a big one on outsourcing, Dwan, and so what I do is I keep up with what's working. I educate myself enough to be dangerous, but I then outsource a lot of the technical stuff. So find a good team around you. So I have a fantastic guy that does my Facebook ads. I have a great team that does my Google ads. I have a great team that creates my funnels. I have a great team that does my membership websites through ClickFunnels. So I've got the vision, and I know what works. So if someone's doing Facebook ads, I can tell them how I want the pixels, how I want to do retargeting, but I would never be the guy to go and actually do it. So I think one step at a time, get yourself a good team, because you can get bogged down with hours and hours and hours and hours. If you're the actual person doing the Facebook ads and creating the funnel and then writing your blogs, it can be a lot of work before it really kicks in to be a return. And I know some people don't have the money, and I think this is the struggle with a lot of people. A, I don't know how to do it, and B, I don't have the money yet to pay someone to outsource it. So where do I start? And that is a really good question, and it's a fair question for people to ask. So you've got to go through, and places like Upwork.com are a great place to start. Great, I just want to create one funnel. I want one traffic source, let's say at Facebook ads. I know what I want to achieve. I know the copy because I know my business, I know my product. I'm going to jump on Upwork. I'm going to find someone to do it for a relatively low cost, and there's plenty of low cost talent out there. and I'm just going to get some traction to start with. So, you know, you build that. That's how I started, and now I just have a great team around me. And yeah, I'm the ideas man. They're the skill. They're the technical skill.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Aaron, will you go ahead and give out your social media website or anything like that? The family can get in touch if they like.
Most people can find all the links just through my website, deckchairmillionaire.com. You'll be able to find me on Facebook there, and that's where I'm interacting mostly. LinkedIn, YouTube, everything's there. So yeah, if they jump on deckchairmillionaire.com, they'll be able to find me.
Awesome. Well, obviously, man, there's so much that we can learn from you. You know, we'd have to, spend hours with you to pull everything out of your brain, man. But there's so much to learn from you. We'd actually love to have you back to have more conversations like this, man, so we can learn more. Definitely got to have you back. Before we let you go, however, we do want to play a quick game with you. We've been playing with our guests. We call it a word of advice with a mentor. And the way that it works is I'm going to shoot a few words at you, Aaron, and with the words that I give you, you're going to give us back a word of advice based on that word. Does that make sense?
Okay, so one word or just like a short sentence based on that word?
No, you're going to give us a full-blown, advice, but it's based on that word. Okay? So if I say eagle, you might say, well, don't hang with chickens, fly with eagles, right? So that's the advice. So you got it?
Got it.
All right, so the first word that we have for you is rise.
Rise. I like it. Rise. So the first thing that comes to mind for me with that word is from where I've come from to where I am now. Rise. And so I want to encourage people that are watching or listening to this that it doesn't matter where you are today or where you've come from. You can achieve anything that you want. So get really clear with your vision of where you want to go. Back yourself, give yourself permission, get yourself around a good team and learn the strategies and just have some courage to go out and get it. You know, I grew up in the middle of nowhere in country Australia. So the outback, right? Our nearest town was 30 kilometers away, or 50 miles. And our nearest big city was 4-hour drive away. And no one from where I come from goes on and does anything significant with due respect to where I come from. It's just, you become a farmer basically. And so, you got to give yourself permission to do that and believe in yourself, back yourself. If you have dreams, follow through with it. And I think a lot of people put a barrier around that or a stereotype because of their peers, their friends, their parents, their background, their upbringing, and what's supposed to happen. But yeah, rise. No matter whether you come from, a small town, from the streets, from being poor, rise up and be the person that you were meant to be. I really believe that there's a best version of everyone, and every single person's been given a bunch of skills and talent, but it doesn't necessarily come to fruition unless you go and chase it. So rise up, no matter where you've come from. I guarantee you, if you put in the hard work, you can be whatever you want to be.
Good stuff. The next word we have for you is online.
Online. Today, 2020, essential. When I first started online, it was probably 98, but then not really seriously, probably until 10 years later. And it was exciting, but it kind of didn't matter because we were building businesses offline just as well. But I remember the first time someone gave me advice to say, hey, Aaron, you've got to be on page 1 of Google for that gym. And I thought, it's probably handy these days, but I'll just stick with the yellow pages and letterbox drops and newspaper ads. But I took their advice. I became dominant on page 1, and 95% of all my leads came from Google searches. That was the day the light bulb went off. It was about 2009. But, we're a decade ahead of that now. And so in today's world, online is essential. You've got to be visible. That's the best way to describe it. I guarantee you, whatever service you have, whatever product you have, whatever you are selling, the company, millions of people need it and want it and are looking for it right now. Are they finding you or are they finding somebody else? Be consistent, be visible, and you'll get business.
Wow. The next word that we have for you is change.
Yeah, I like it, change. So like I said, there's a best version of you. If I wanted to be successful in the industry that I'm in right now, and I was still Aaron Byerlee at age 20, it wouldn't work. And I'm not saying I've completely changed my personality and I became someone that I'm not, or I'm someone fake, or I've completely changed. I'm still me. I'm just always taking steps to become the best version of me. So I've changed, but I had to. Give you an example. I could never speak publicly. So people talk about being nervous with public speaking. I wasn't that guy. I was the guy having a panic attack on stage physically. It was embarrassing, right? And so I said to myself one day, if I'm going to go where I want to go in business, I have to overcome this. So I had to change. And that took a lot of personal development, mindset training, books, seminars, but it was a lot of internal stuff, really. And the best way to do it is just practice, get out of your comfort zone, have some courage. The definition of courage is to do something that you're fearful of anyway. So you're fearful of it, but you do it anyway. So it's like cold calling, right, in network marketing. People are fearful of it, probably everybody is, but the people that rise to the top do it anyway, and they're the 1% because they've got courage. So you've got to change into the best version of yourself, and that's a journey over time.
Wow. The next word we have for you is consistent.
So key. I've done blog posts on this, I've done videos on this, I've done whole courses on this, and it's such a throwaway word, consistency, right? And it's so obvious. People go, consistency, but nobody does it. Like I said, people go to a Tony Robbins seminar, they come back, they don't eat meat, they exercise, they do their Facebook lives, they're building the business, and 4 weeks later, they're back into, life, procrastinating, and it's all too hard, I don't believe in myself. People go into the gym for a week in January, then they don't go for the rest of the year. They do a Facebook Live or an Instagram post for one day every week, and then not for a month. You've got to be consistent in no matter what you're doing. If you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to be a good dad, good husband, good mom, a home-based business person, have a social media presence, whatever it is, consistency is the key. And, for me, I think it's about being organized. So I literally, things like, the video marketing that I do, if I don't put that in my phone to smash out a bunch of videos every Friday, other things tend to happen. So for me, it's in my phone. The alarm is set every Friday. I do a bunch of videos. Every day I'll do a Facebook Live. It's actually in my calendar with an alarm. You've got to be consistent. So find a way that works for you to do the things that are important consistently. Nobody does it. It's key, Dwan, key, absolutely.
Amazing. The last and final word that we have for you, man, is build.
Build. And I think that's really relevant. There's so many different home-based businesses, right? You've got your affiliate marketing. I mean, we do a lot with Airbnb. No matter what you're doing, network marketing, you want to be building your business. You want to be building a team. And it's very different to just making money, right? Anyone can go and make money. Anyone can go and create a product and make a sale. I'll get a product, I'll go and sell it on Amazon. I've got a network marketing product, I go and sell it to my friend. I've got an Airbnb property, I go and sell it to a traveler. But building is building a business. For example, we're building a portfolio of properties to then sell that portfolio. So we're building that business. Network marketing, I'm not just selling product retail, I'm building a team to create a residual income all around the world. So there's a big difference between making money and selling something and building your business for a long-term exit strategy, for residual income, to create a legacy, to create a real business. You've got to build it, with your staff, with your employees, with your team, whatever it may be. Think more about building long-term for the end result rather than just a money transaction. So building is really important if we want to use that word.
Amazing. You totally crushed it, man. We appreciate you playing the game. Aaron, we got to have you back, man. So much knowledge and wisdom, man. We definitely don't want this to be the last time. So thank you again for coming on to the show, man.
Thanks, Juan. Thanks for having me, and look forward to catching up again.
Awesome. There you have it, family. Aaron Byerlee. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Yes.